You will be thinking, what happened, so listen and look it. It was well past midnight in the city of Ravenwood. The usually quiet downtown area was cloaked in eerie stillness, broken only by the occasional hum of passing cars. Officer Daniel Reeves, a man of principle and experience, was on his routine patrol. His radio buzzed faintly in the background with updates from dispatch, though nothing unusual had come up so far. As Daniel turned onto 7th Avenue, his sharp eyes caught a flicker of movement near the large jewelry store Sapphire and Company. The window was shattered, and a dark figure moved swiftly inside. Grabbing his flashlight, Daniel stepped out of his car and quietly approached the scene. Years of experience had trained him to move without making a sound. Inside, Leah, a young woman in her early 20s, was stuffing jewelry into a small black backpack. Her face was partially obscured by a hood, and her hands moved with a mix of desperation and precision. Daniel raised his flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness. "Freeze! Police! Put your hands where I can see them!" Leah froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Slowly, she turned to face him, her hands half raised. Her hazel eyes locked with his, defiant but filled with something else, fear or perhaps guilt. "Step away from the counter. Now," Daniel said firmly, his hand resting on his holstered gun. Leah sighed and dropped the backpack to the ground. Jewelry spilled out, glittering under the beam of Daniel's flashlight. "All right, officer, you've caught me," she said with a forced smirk. "Happy?" Daniel's brow furrowed. "This isn't a game. Breaking and entering theft. You're digging yourself into a hole. What were you thinking?" Leah crossed her arms, her defiance rising. "You wouldn't understand." "Try me," Daniel replied, taking a cautious step closer. "Start talking. Who are you, and why are you here?" Scene 2. The standoff. Leah glanced at the spilled jewelry, then back at Daniel. "Look, I didn't want to do this, all right? But I didn't have a choice." "There's always a choice," Daniel said. "Explain." She hesitated, her fingers twitching nervously. "My brother, he's in trouble. A guy named Marcus is after him. My brother borrowed money from him, and now Marcus is threatening to hurt him if we don't pay up." Daniel tilted his head, his suspicion evident. "And you thought stealing jewelry was the best solution?" "Do you think I wanted this?" Leah shot back. "I tried everything, working extra hours, selling what little we had. But Marcus doesn't care. He gave me 3 days, and I'm out of time." Daniel frowned, his stance softening slightly. "You could have gone to the police." "I did," Leah's voice cracked. "I went to the station 3 weeks ago. They said they needed proof, witnesses, something to go on. Marcus doesn't leave a trail. He knows how to play the system." "That doesn't mean you take the law into your own hands," Daniel countered. "You're making things worse for yourself and your brother." Leah shook her head, frustration etched on her face. "You don't get it. People like Marcus don't stop. He'll come for my brother, and he'll come for me too. I had no choice." Scene 3. The conversation deepens. Daniel sighed, lowering his flashlight slightly. "Look, I've dealt with guys like Marcus before. I know they're dangerous, but stealing isn't the answer. Tell me everything you know about him. Maybe I can help." Leah scoffed. "Yeah, right. What are you going to do? Arrest him? People like you don't scare him. He has connections, protection." "You'd be surprised," Daniel said calmly. "But I can't help you if you don't trust me." Leah hesitated, her defenses wavering. "Why should I trust you? For all I know, you'll arrest me and throw me in jail without a second thought." Daniel met her gaze, his expression serious. "Because I took an oath to protect people, even when they make mistakes. And because I've seen too many people like you get chewed up by guys like Marcus. I'm giving you a chance to do this the right way." Leah bit her lip, her mind racing. She could feel the weight of her choices pressing down on her. Finally, she nodded. "All right, I'll tell you what I know, but if anything happens to my brother, it's on you." Daniel nodded. "Deal. Let's start with Marcus. Where does he operate?" Scene 4. Unraveling the truth. Leah sat down on the floor, her back against the counter. Marcus runs his operation out of a club on 12th Street, the Velvet Room. It's a front for his loan sharking business, but you won't find anything on paper. He's too smart for that. Daniel pulled out a small notepad and jotted down the details. The Velvet Room. Got it. Who works for him? Leah rubbed her temples. He's got a few guys. Big, scary types. They're the ones who do his dirty work. If someone doesn't pay, they're the ones who show up to send a message. Names? Daniel asked. Tony and Vince, Leah said. I do.